I can really take a gallon of yeah.
I didn't ask. Yeah.
Who mixes what do they mix with Gatorade?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Take her paint his right.
Hey, guys.
Brady.
Because he broke after.
Yeah, people
just here to the stack. Brady. I got a friend to do it in like 4 seconds. Yeah.
It's like
literally,
it's like
Yeah.
crush it.
There's a lot of humming noise. I didn't know what it was, so we moved it first like we could.
Well, he needs upside down if you want.
There's
Now
something-
you can buy this, and then buy it. That's the sign.
Mr. Schmidt.
The sign seeker. There's no sign
Oh,
seeker.
okay.
And now it's wearing black.
There's a lot of Mr.
So how's everyone been? I feel like, we met online. How's it been?
How's live?
Long,
Pretty good.
All right.
productive. I thought Monday was Tuesday.
You thought Monday was Tuesday?
I thought Saturday was
So-
Sunday. Oh, yesterday.
All right. It was Reese's birthday Friday. What did Reese get for her birthday?
Clothes.
Cool.
Wow. Well, she was opening cards and
She got crumbled.
she would open it and just pretend like she didn't see the money. Yeah, there's like 420. And she opened it and she acted like she didn't see it. I'm like, oh, no.
And did Allison, did you say she got crumble?
Yeah. She just,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like a big box of like 20 of runs.
Well, you're.
So, tell me about crumble. I've heard a lot of stuff. Like everybody's always like, "Oh, crumble, oh, crumble." I'm like, what is the big deal about crumble?
What the heck is that? Crumble.
So tell us, is it good?
It's really good.
I'm surprised you haven't had one.
I've never had crumble.
You never.
I feel like you'd be the type to immediately go get one as soon as it opens.
Yeah.
What's that supposed? Oh wow, what was that? Never mind. I've never had crumble. Is it good?
Because they make them
Have
fresh.
their flavor.
Oh, okay.
And they're like so, and they're big and thick and so good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Chewy.
Let's see when they're open.
Some of them are.
Do they have cornbread?
They have cornbread.
Yeah, cornbread.
They're.
Oh wow, they open tomorrow morning.
You can only get the ones of the week though. They have different flavors every week.
Okay, so they change out. Okay.
Yeah.
There's always chocolate chip though.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the
The
best
chocolate
one.
chip is the best.
Chocolate chip is the best. All right.
That's
Good to know.
That was real good. I like the scored one.
So bowling is Wednesday night.
And
Mhm. Bowling and camp fair. Why did it get so quiet when I said that? Bowling's at night. It's after church. So I sent a sign up to your parents for them to sign you up if you're able to go. Our youth hangouts return tomorrow, 10 a.m. to whenever.
Okay.
I'll be working as well.
Yeah.
I've heard Will's responses like twice. It's like, I'm making money. All right, okay. You had to murder somebody. I made money. I mean,
Are you still paying for the Xbox? No.
PS5, and I'm
PS5.
done with that.
Okay.
You even play your
No,
Okay. I can't believe this.
No.
dude, I have a PS5.
Even.
Come on. Come on.
Dude, I'd rather play a
You be playing
Xbox
Halo.
One than a PS5.
You are.
You keep it for what you do.
I'd rather play.
Same. I'd rather play like Star Wars on PlayStation 2.
I respect that.
That's actually what I played on PlayStation 2.
You remember the old Wizard game? Sorry.
Dude, one time
I had
played-
one on my
That game was
DS.
so fun.
Yeah.
Dude, one time I played the first Lego Batman on my
It's
Xbox.
like really.
PS5.
Almost.
We had that on Wii. and they still-
You like?
Yeah.
We had that on Wii. I remember Richard touched it in the
You
show.
like Red Press?
He was like.
who doesn't like stuff
he was
pressed?
like,
Him.
look at my new.
What?
Look at my new.
Who hurt you?
I'm like, I got an ass.
No, I don't like, I prefer
I have the best console.
Well, that's actually me.
Yeah, I thought it was real.
there's no
I'm
credit.
like,
You bought the new.
I'm actually buying that mini fridge. I would buy a mini fridge if it was mine.
It's like getting a bonus cheese stick.
One of the first things I'm buying. Forget a sofa or a refrigerator. I'm buying a mini fridge.
It's a bonus cheese stick.
He said it to a man.
Oh my.
I'll buy the 3 packs. I'm like 3 12 packs and 3 different juice.
So good though.
They're both
You
good.
not like
Oh, they're discounted.
the.
We'll get the regular discount and the employee discount. For the life.
If it's like really,
And the extra employee discount.
but like most of the time.
What's the time? How long have you been at Donald's?
A month.
A month. Is it a month I have or just a month?
Over a month.
I just-
He's manager now.
Nah, not yet.
I just rolled up. So, I'm gonna unroll, see what it looks like. Old, like old.
So what was your favorite part about Chicago? The hot dog,
And the Cubs game.
Cubs game. Cubs game would be pretty cool.
I saw Top Gun Maverick in IMAX.
That's pretty good.
I saw it in the Branson IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
We had nothing to do, and my mom and dad was like, "Hey, should we go see Minions or Top Gun Maverick?" And dad was like,
They had.
"I think we should Top Gun." I'm like, "I've waited for Minions for 3 years. Please, let's go see Minions in IMAX." And they said, "No, let's go with Top Gun." I was like,
Why would you want? You wouldn't want to watch me.
I saw it.
You just
It's
said
pretty
that.
good.
You said that.
You saw Minions?
After we steamed for 15 minutes this morning.
Not in,
Schemed
not in
to go
IMAX,
there in formal attire.
which I have yet to hear a solid plan for you guys going in formal attire.
Technically,
Technically.
it's in the planning stage, but.
Yeah, it's in the planning stage. There's a plan in the planning stage.
Boys, let us, we'll go after bowling. We're gonna be in Conway.
That's way too late.
Wait,
Yeah, I saw
That's
some
too
guys
late.
do that.
Yeah, plus I'll be like 30 minutes away. Whatever it is.
Me and,
I say we just go out and start.
none of them had tags on.
Oh, no.
I'll be down with that.
So, we saw that.
Because
I might just be like, respect to you boys, I'll go sit with my mom later. We were planning on going.
And he's like, there's a difference major, no one not.
I mean, like,
What
it's-
about,
So-
Friday? Not during the hangout.
So Reese, did you like
Anytime after
I'll be
1:45,
gone.
I'm in Conway.
We'll be gone.
From like 3 to 4. Oh, yeah.
and we'll be leaving Thursday, so we can't do it Thursday. either. So Tuesday is our.
Actually, why don't we just wait like a minute for this price? And then the train's gonna die, bro. Okay.
We're good.
Wait,
If we wait, look,
Oh.
No,
You mean
look,
that's gonna
look,
be out
look,
of train?
look,
That's
Okay.
different, man.
we're gonna
That's
forget
an
about it if we
age-old-
don't do it as soon as.
When I go to movies, the only thing I want
Yes,
is
we
ice.
will.
is an
I
ice.
promise
we
you we
will.
will. we're gonna not do it.
I could eat like
That's why we need to do it.
Drink
Is we can't,
what?
which is like Tuesday.
Yeah, probably last time go without it.
Hold on. Yes.
All of
Like,
that.
Yes. I only had 2. Wasn't that much.
Had 3.
What?
She's like looking at your soul.
What? Name the 3.
Yeah.
Name them one by one.
We'll grab the shovel and prepare the grave for you.
Did you,
Put your laundry up?
do I?
Did you put your laundry up?
So you did 1 out of 3.
I did 1. No, I did 1.5.
Did you at least make sure your sheets were dry?
Yes, they're on my bed. Not like on my bed, but like they're in a pile on my bed. With my lunch.
Lexi? I don't understand how that's getting the chores done. Did that make sense to you?
No,
It took me an hour and a half to back some upstairs yesterday.
that was the acknowledgement. Yeah, there were chores listed. They're in the general ballpark of them being done.
Hey, at least put them all.
Take the thing off.
Yes. Dang.
You can't put it up without a lot of.
I didn't put it up. I sit in the floor.
Okay.
I'm good.
I mean, what's this?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get started. Let's get started. Describe we're talking about family. Describe your family in one word.
Chaotic.
Energetic.
Chaotic, loud, what?
Short?
Short.
What do you mean by that? Chris, do you care to elaborate? Do you care to
Emotionally
elaborate?
short or like
He said you're short.
like physically? Oh.
I'm not short.
He told us.
Well, I'm taller.
Like-
than you, and I'm going into
My mom is, no.
All right.
Ethan said energetic.
Energetic.
No, mom's
All right. Jarrett, how would you describe your family in one word? No pressure, even though you're.
I
Your mom's
get
standing right here.
I get.
Very nervous.
No, she agrees with the statement.
Very nervous.
She agrees with that. I know.
What?
What is that?
Sigh.
Sigh. Okay. All right. All right.
Sigh of
Let's see. Lexi said chaotic. Reese, what did you say? Loud. All right. Jacob, what about you? Busy. All right, Allison, what do you say?
large.
Large. That's accurate.
Technically accurate.
Logan, what about you?
Small.
Tall. Okay. All right. Follow-up question. Who do you consider family? Like, I'm not talking just like, obviously, mom, dad, brothers, or sisters and brother. Who else do you consider family? Your friends? Okay. I've talked to y'all about my friend James. He was pretty much part of my family growing up. You know, we all have that. We all have like people in our lives that are like close as family. And so when was the last time, let me ask you this. When was the last time you blew up at your family?
We considered yesterday. No, we don't do that because we know. We actually considered. Yes, on vacation.
On vacation?
What's it when you got denied?
What were the all right. So was it stress that led to the blowing up? Annoyance. All right.
How are you annoyed without siblings? Jared, how are you annoyed without siblings?
Because they want to go see an older movie.
Top Gun Maverick is not an
Top Gun Maverick ain't
The
old.
series.
no.
Better.
I mean, you have a point, but you also
Hey,
don't.
they're both pretty good from what I heard. Like Top Gun Maverick is the most pro-American.
But you have to.
So like
I mean, Jurassic.
usually A lot of times when we blow up at our family, it's usually because there's just this mounting thing. Like maybe you're just tired of them irritating you, or tired of them like getting the same thing. I love how like Lexi and Reese are just staring at Allison in this moment. So, because she's like, Richard is speaking so much truth right now. I'm about to tear into my sister's. I'm sorry. But anyway, usually it's because of it's not always the thing that is what caused it. It's something bigger. It's you might have been in part, it might have been just a bad day at school, or it might have been you're just tired, or you're just tired of being around them the whole entire time. Like if you're in quarantine, you might be tired of looking at your family. So, or it may have been just something that they do, like they want that thing. It's like, I don't know, maybe for you, you're tired of being like, you have this thing and all of a sudden everybody else in the family wants to have the thing. Or you're doing this, all of a sudden everybody in the family wants to do this. Okay. Does that happen to anybody here? Is that a true sort of thing? Or like I said, maybe it's just because you are just having a really bad day. You ever lashed out at your family and felt bad about it? Reese says no very quickly and clearly. No, I mean it. I stand by it. But seriously, have you ever, like, because of maybe a lot of times what it is when we lash out, it's because we reach a boiling point. And it's either because we are not really expressing the frustration, we just kind of keep it in, and it's like when you shake a can. What happens when you shake a can and you open it? It goes everywhere. Yeah, it'll go everywhere. If you immediately open it, Jarrett, thank you, it will go everywhere, right? And it makes a bigger mess. So whereas if you deal with it in a proper way, like if you shake up a can, let me try this.
But it's so much money. There's always
So I shake up this can, right? And this can is getting shook.
And let it sit for a minute and
Okay.
I'll be fine.
If I tap on the side, which is a proper way of handling it. How nervous are y'all right now?
Not very. As long as I don't make the mess, I don't have to clean it up.
You didn't shake it violently enough.
Oh, I shook it pretty violently.
You have to go.
But you see what happens by hitting the sides of this? It, in theory, will dispel the pressure back to where it was before. Where when I go to open this, it's not going to explode all over the place. Okay. The same is true with us when we handle our things. When we handle like our stresses, like when our family members, because here's the thing, is it not true that like, you know how to push our family's buttons? Like, let's be honest, that one mode that you can just do to irritate the fire out of your sister or your brother or your parents. And sometimes it's easy, right? That's just how we are as family. That's we know our family's weaknesses. And so if it's not done in a healthy manner, if it's not done in a healthy way, it'd be like just shaking up this can and then opening it up. But if we find ways of handling our family and dealing in those situations, when we feel pressured, when we feel stressed, when we feel like the world is caving in, or when we're just tired of feeling like, because a lot of times, especially if like we're in a mode of feeling like everybody wants to do the thing I'm doing, it's almost like we feel like we're getting drowned out. And if we can express that in healthy ways, it's very much like what I did with this can. Or when I open it,
Boom.
it does not explode. That's the thing about when we handle things in healthy ways, the damage is a lot less severe. In scripture, and I'm so glad that worked. In scripture, we talked about this on Sunday or on Wednesday. We talked about like how we're supposed to love our family, especially as believers. We are called to support each other. You know, this should be a place for us. The church should be a place for us to come with our burdens and to lay them down, to tell others about the struggles we're dealing with. Here in our youth group, this should be a place where, like, you know, I'm just really frustrated about this, or I'm tired about this. It should be a safe place for us to talk about that. In God's family, we should support each other. That was the big thing that we talked about. And that means we got to be willing to have qualities. Look at Galatians 5:22. Galatians 5:22 through 23. And if I can get somebody to read that, that would be awesome. Galatians 5:22 through 23.
Is that 22?
Yes, Galatians 5:22 through 23. Go ahead.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The law is not against such things. Now, oh wait, yeah.
All right. Which of these qualities do you struggle with at home?
Probably
Patience. Okay. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Which of those do you struggle with at home? Oh, for me, it can sometimes be patience. What do y'all think? How many for you, patience is the biggest struggle you have with your family?
That's hard.
What about gentleness? Like you just want to lash out at your sisters or your brothers? Because it goes again, like, and think about those times when you weren't patient at somebody or you weren't kind or you weren't gentle or you didn't practice self-control and you just jumped over the table like a spider monkey and started wailing on your siblings. Jacob, did that happen to you?
No.
Okay. Because this was Jacob's face. He was.
That's probably
I mean,
what?
I can tell you in my house, there were moments when, like, me and my brother, I remember clearly, me and my brother were out on the lawn just waylaying into each other because he was tired of me. I was tired of him. We were angry and frustrated at each other, and we tore into each other. And he might have gotten a couple of good shots, but I think I won the day. And we'll just stick with that. So don't need to ask him. You don't have to try to find him and ask him. Just trust me. I won it. But those moments when we fight and we give in and we don't practice self-control, we don't practice gentleness or goodness or faith, like, have you ever done something to your brother or sister that was like you stabbed them in the back on purpose? Like you told on them with something that wasn't really a big deal, but you made it a bigger deal than what it was. Like your sister or your brother ever like hit you in the arm and you go, "Ow!" like louder than what it is. Has that ever happened to y'all? There's something that happens when we Yeah, they shouldn't have been hitting you, but maybe it wasn't something that was worth that. Or maybe it was something more. You ever feel regret? That's the thing is that I think if we're honest, we know it's wrong. That thing that, because think about that. If that quality that you struggle with, if you were better about trying to be that way, maybe patient sound like it was a common thing. Maybe you were trying to be more patient with your family. Might not be as stressful as what you think it is. You might get to see something that you didn't get to see before. I think that's something that we really should work on in our families. Like, it's easy to look at Galatians 5:22, the fruit of the Spirit, and say, just as a believer, we should practice love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. That sort of thing, that's how we should be. And a lot of times we talk about that in terms of our witness, but the reality of it is that's how we should be, especially to our family. Mom, dad, brother, sister, grandma, grandpa, crazy Uncle Carl. Those people in our lives that are our family, we should be practicing these sorts of steps. So for you, thinking about your family in broader terms of, because we have our immediate family, and then we have our buddies, and then we have our faith family, right? So thinking about this with your family, maybe it's one person here lately you've just been having an issue with. Now, if you only have one sibling, well, this is obvious, right? It's that one that's that one person that you're thinking of. But maybe for you, it's a specific person. How can you better support them? Or for you, thinking about that list of the fruit of the Spirit, Galatians 5:22. If you don't have it highlighted, you should have 5:22 and 23 highlighted. Should be underscored. You need to memorize 5:22 through 23. And think about, what is that one fruit of the Spirit for you that you need to really work on this week in your family? Maybe it's for you need to be more loving. Maybe it's you need to have more joy versus complaining about everything. Maybe you need to have more patience. Maybe when you're dealing with that brother and sister, whenever they are being angry, or your mom and dad when they're being unfair, maybe instead of lashing out in anger, maybe you should practice self-control. Maybe you should choose gentleness over not being gentle. Maybe you should choose, helping your brother and your sister versus finding ways of ratting them out and telling on them. Now, if they're doing something really wild and crazy, like if they're like, you know what, I'm going to go rob a bank tomorrow, go tell your parents. If they're like, doing something wrong like that, right? If they're like, I want to go punch that person in the face just for no good reason, you might need to tell your mom and dad, but be faithful. When somebody is making fun of them or tearing into them, instead of like ignoring, or instead of not saying anything, say something. Stick up for them. What is one of those areas of the fruit of the Spirit that you can practice in your family this week? And that is for you to think about. That is for you to really kind of work through. Because like I showed you, we can just keep doing the same thing and come to that boiling point again and then lash out. And it's like the can that I shook up. And if I didn't dispel the pressure, it would explode. It would explode all over the place. We've tried that. And we've gotten in trouble. It didn't work out the way that you would like to have worked out. It actually made things worse. So instead of doing that thing, Do something different. Seek to ask God, how can I be more patient this week? And I promise you, if you ask him for patience, he will give you plenty of opportunities to be patient. It is a lot easier when we seek to try to do healthy ways of solving a problem. Not easier in terms of like it's solved and everything, but easier in terms of it makes things a lot better to deal with when we can speak about it in healthy ways, when we can share and do about it in healthy ways. And seeking to do things the way that God would have us to do, those are good, healthy ways. So something for you to think about this week. Next time your brother, your sister, mom, dad get on your last nerve, remember the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And in those moments, pray, God, help me to display one of these fruits. Let's pray. Would somebody like to close us out in prayer? Don't be shy. If I keep my eyes down, Richard won't call on me. Joke's on you. We all have eyes. Jacob, will you dismiss us?
Go through our week. Save.